Welcome to Chapter 6 about electricity. We made our schematic. Me and Jasmine made a schematic, which you will receive, and it's powered on a windmill, which is 2,400 kilowatts an hour. It's cost beneficial. There's a limited amount of energy and power that can be used from the windmill that the windmill produces to power the house.
So we're not being wasteful, and we're not using it from a electric company.
Mom?
It's cheaper.
Great! That's my sister! So, the house that we built could fit a family it has 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. So you can fit as many people as you really want into it, but there's 1 bathroom, so the water's only being used in there, and since there's only 1 bathroom, the family doesn't use as much electricity because they don't have to power as many rooms. And the house has everything that they would need in it,
And more.
Yeah, and more, but it's still cost beneficial because they don't have too much of. They have a lot of lamps, but
using a windmill uses renewable resources and doesn't release any bad toxics or harmful chemicals into the air, so it's a lot more cleanlier.
It's cleanlier.
And it's more eco-friendly.
It is eco-friendly.
That was a good one.
It is a good one. And it's a lot cheaper since you're not buying from the electric company, and the windmill can power more than just 1 house.
Wind energy is half as much as solar energy, so using a windmill is more beneficial to the people living in the home for everyone.
The house we built, along with probably everybody else's house,
or at least we hope so it suck.
Yeah, that would suck. Is in a parallel circuit, so if one thing goes out, then all the rest still can be powered on.
The windmill produces 2,400 kilowatts an hour, which equals 24 hours times 100 kilowatts, which gives everyone 100 kilowatts.
And we're assuming that the people in the house, since they want to be cost beneficial and they want to be good to the economy, and considering they're already using a windmill, that's pretty good for the economy. We assume that they would be shutting off lights and any electronic that is not being used, that is using energy and electricity when they don't need it.
Like their PlayStation 3s.
And their lamps.
And their keyboards. And their lamps.
And their computers.
And
their PS3. And their tablets. And phone chargers would be unplugged when they're not using them.
Yep.
Today I'm going to talk about the physics principles for Chapter 6 and the concepts, as well as the estimates of the magnitude for the physical quantities that are used. One of the most important physics concepts is the electrical efficiency of the windmill. And utility bills go down, or your electric bill go down, if you do have one, because you can use it to generate your electricity for appliances in your home. As Skylar and Jasmine mentioned, you could reduce your bill by possibly turning off your lights more often, or not leaving appliances plugged in when they're not in use. Things like that normally would help out. Our schematic is ran through circuit breaker, but you could also use fuses, which are not as safe but can still be used. basically when the load becomes too much for the generator, it breaks the circuit, which is a parallel circuit, and all the electricity stops. There's no electricity going to the circuit at all. And it can be flipped back, but basically when the load limit becomes too much, it keeps the house safe by not exploding or blowing up or catching on fire or anything like that. In order to figure out what the load limit is, you could use the equation for power, which is voltage times the current that's going into the circuit. So if you have too much current going through your circuit, you'll probably break the load limit, and your the switch will break and your circuit will stop. Had the schematic been a series circuit, everything would not work if one light bulb went out, or your toaster broke, or something like that. Or one plug-in stopped working, everything would stop working, and it would make it less efficient and harder to deal with. You'd have to figure out what was not working, fix it, and then everything would work again. And that makes it very hard to do when there's no electricity to figure out what's broken. We could also use Ohm's law to figure out the resistance going through the home. You could take the voltage of everything divided by the current that's going through all of your appliances to figure out how much resistance actually is going through your home at one time. Or you could figure out the voltage of any appliance or total voltage by taking your total resistance times the total current, or individually you could figure it out that way as well. Basically, using the windmill does make it more efficient. It definitely helps you with utility bills. It helps you conserve energy as a whole, but it's not something that you could completely rely on because it doesn't provide as much energy as regular electricity does. So if you've reached your 90 kilowatt hours, then you probably are going to want to have backup, which would probably be electricity. But it does help you be more efficient. It's better for the environment. It saves you a lot of money. So that's pretty much everything that needs to be said.